was saying how the streets got her and she was sick. And,
yes, sir.
I understood that when I was, but at the time I was, I was empty. I had a childhood friend of mine who was, killed execution style, and I had no understanding of life. It's like I was like empty. I went to his funeral and it's like tears was rolling down my eyes and they were just, I wasn't even crying. It was just tears flowing. Yes, sir. And I was talking to a friend and he's like constantly cursing. And every other word he's cursing and I'm sitting there and I'm weeping and I'm like, what is life? Ooh. Like, So when I went home that evening, I went home and I was sitting there and I'm like weeping and I'm crying. And my cousin, he called. He was an elder at a church in Marion, Indiana. And he called and he told me. He listened to me. And I mean, he was like.
And what year was this too? Go ahead.
This was 2007. 2007, yes. I'm listening. And he called me and he listened to me. And all the time he was like, his demeanor, my cousin's demeanor was so uplifting. Because everything that I told and I shared with him, he's like, is that right? It's like he was expecting this from me. And at the end of the conversation, he says, let me ask you a question. He said, do you believe Jesus lived? I said, yes. And I'm crying. He said, do you believe he died? And I said, yes. He said, do you believe he rose? And I said, yes. And he said, you are saved. At that moment, I didn't take nothing. I didn't understand it. But yes, I'm like, I got to go to church. Word. I haven't been to church in years. It's like, something is in me like you got to seek this man because you are empty. So I talked to my mom. And my mom said, babe, I haven't been to church in a minute. You can come to my church, which was New Prospect down on Elm and Fenley.
Absolutely.
Pastor Damon, yes, Pastor Damon Lynch.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
It's my main man.
Sir.
So I went down to his church that Sunday, and he spoke on enjoy your life.
Shout out to Pastor Damon Lynch.
Pastor Damon Lynch the third.
And most importantly, the father.
The fourth and junior.
What's up, Pastor? How you living?
Oh, man. They are saviors of souls.
Facts.
But his father, Damon Lynch the third, he spoke on enjoy your life. And in that sermon, he had us stand up and we did the Cupid shuffle in church. And it was healing. It was medicine for me. And at the end of the church, he opened the doors of the church. And I joined the church and I got baptized the next week. Facts. Like I wasn't playing. Yeah. And I asked, I seeked, I knocked. I was getting understanding. And in getting that understanding, I was getting a relationship.
Word.
And with that relationship, it gave me life because I got understanding. That I can do all things through Christ Jesus that strengthened me. That's why I joined school. Because my dad always would tell me, you so smart. You so smart. And everybody like, you need to be in school. My friends, closest friends, you need to be in school. So I said, I owe it to myself to even try. And if I try, I'm going to do it because I can do all things through Christ Jesus that strengthened me.
Because of the connection.
That relationship that I had gained, he gave me that confidence that I can do anything that I wanted to do. Yes, sir. But I didn't know respiratory was in the
yes. He did.
He did. He definitely did.
He did.
Because even before I signed up for that respiratory position, that Bengals position, I was given a lot of respect to a lot of the RTs that had the respiratory therapists that had been there prior. I graduated Cincinnati State in 2015. This position opened up in 2018. I'm like, you know what? You got RTs been here for like 20 years doing this. He ain't gonna pick me. We got a group text with 9 of us. Yes. One brother in Utah, another brother in Indy, another brother in Charlotte, and we communicate daily. Because we are brothers. We've been going to school with each other since 6th grade.
Some since kindergarten. Yes, sir.
So I'm like, you know what? Let me ask these brothers what they think. So I text out to the group, what y'all think about me taking this position? And they like, why not? And I'm like, one of them was like, even ask the missus, ask your wife. And I text her, and she's like, why not? So I responded to the email. I'm interested in this position, this and that. A couple of weeks go by. I get the reply.
Guess what God said?
Why not? Yes, he did.
Yes, sir.
Why not?
Yes,
But
sir.
I got the position like 2 weeks later, and I was a primary because they were asking for 2 primary and 2 backups. And I was selected as a primary respiratory therapist on the field of the Bengals to give oxygen and be a part of their emergency action plan team. Mm-hmm. And it's like, wow. Fast forward some years later. The doctor that I said chose me, I asked him, I said, you had all these RTs here before. That's been here for years. This and that. Why? He says, I didn't choose you. He says, you earned that. He said, I've been knowing you for years, your personality, your character, this, that, this. He said, why not you?
Come on, bro. Come on, man.
Yes.
And you know what? We said this earlier, man. In Torrance, you got a Pickin Up Da Peaces tattoo, don't you?
Yeah.
That's how much he believed, bro.
Love.
And I was telling JB before you came, Torrance, there's some podcasts, man. One big one, man, Earn Your Leisure. Shout out to them, right?
Word.
They started out in 2020. And the thing that what I've realized just for watching things like Earn Your Leisure and all the other podcasts that's out, is consistency. And the thing that I've always said, what did I say about JB? He's consistently been JB.
Yes.
He's consistently been John, but he's never switched up.
That's what you expect from people.
Mm-hmm.
But people will let you down every time. But if you can stay consistent for the most part, that's all you're responsible for. I love diligent people. Especially if you speak your word. Your word is your word is your bond. There was an older guy years ago used to tell me that. Little John, your word is your bond. Because if you tell somebody, you got to stand on that. And there's no better way than showing it by being consistently you.
Consistently JB.
Yeah, I just love consistency.
Consistently JB.
Yeah,
But
Authenticity.
But would
authenticity too.
Would you believe, and not even scratching out DeMar Hamlin, man. Shout out to DeMar Hamlin.
Oh man,
super humble dude.
Love much. Do you know that young man?
Just from what you've told me.
I'm talking about. I'm saying that young man. He put a scholarship in 10 of the healthcare providers that was involved with him.
Why wouldn't he?
He gave us all a scholarship in his name for underserved children.
Yes.
In the city of Cincinnati.
Yes.
Those are kids that are going to the same school that I grew up going to. That there will benefit later on from the scholarship.
Yes,
the next 3 years.
Yes, sir.
And hopefully it shapes them and sends them off in the future to become better than we are.
Come on.
And he didn't have to do that.
Not at all.
He came down and served us at Jeff Ruby's, and he announced that I'm going to put a scholarship in each of your names. That right there, priceless.
For sure.
Priceless.
But you know what life gives? More life.
More life. Praise God.
Life gives more life.
Yes, it does.
God used you as a vessel. I mean, you was an assistant to God to pour into this man and get him home to his mom.
Get him home to his mom.
And that man will continue to pour into others.
Yes.
Life gives life. Why wouldn't you want to give more life?
Yes.
Instead of being caught up in the darkness.
And he didn't ask for that. It's like, he loved the game so much that night, man, it's like that. You saw how after the game Sunday when they played the Bengals, and he went back out to the field after everybody was gone. And he went out and he walked that field, and he was in the middle of that field. And it was healing for him. Because he just remembered the last time he was there, what happened. Like, he hadn't played in a game there. So for him to go there and feel that spirit and understand the
This guy
magnitude.
was in Cincinnati?
Yes.
Just this past week.
To understand the magnitude of what happened. It was like...
Was that his first time being back on the Bengals field?
Yes. Yes. That's why it was such a big ordeal all week, you know. It was a big deal.
Tell them about that experience for you during this past week.
Man.
Can I ask you something real quick?
Do you
and DeMar Hamlin, does he reach out?
I've met him like 4 times since. Like at the Super Bowl, obviously. You know, the NFL. Hold on, let me rewind. This is how I knew it was a big deal. Let me go back to where I was saying I was talking on the phone with my friend, and I'm like, you know what? This is what we do, whatever. That week, it was that Friday, because that incident happened on a Monday. I was in our report room, and it was about noonish, I want to say. My phone rang. I looked down at the call ID. It says NFL headquarters. So I'm like, hold on. So I answer it. It says, hello, can I speak to John? I'm like, this is him. He says, this is NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell. I want to thank you for the services and, you know, this and that, for taking care of the more. I said, hold on. There was a few people behind me. I put him on speaker.
Had to.
That's
JB.
Can you repeat that, please?
He ain't going to keep it to himself. Somebody goes, let me step out the room. Now, JB going to bring everybody into it. Yes.
I needed a witness.
Yes.
And, yeah, he called me personally, man, and I screenshotted the, you know, like, man, so I can have a little record. Like, hold on. NFL headquarters, he called me. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, 100.
With you.
And that's how I knew. That's when I knew it was a big deal. Like, oh, we did something here, you know. And just after that, just sending us down to the honor awards, because that was initially why they sent us to Arizona. For the NFL honor awards, they wanted to honor us on stage in front of everybody. And not only that, they sent us to the Super Bowl. Dave Matthews band concert. What's his name? Anderson .Paak. He was also there. And also the NFL experience. Oh, man.
Come on, man.
That was after I came back from celebrating my wife's 50th birthday in Jamaica. So that was the initial plan. I'm excited. Like, I'm going to Jamaica to celebrate my wife's 50th. And I come back. I'm going to the Super Bowl, this and that. And then it's just the engagements, all the social. I'm not a speaker. You know, I can talk.
Yes.
But I'm not the one to get in front of a crowd and say a speak. I spoke at the 45th Ohio Society for Respiratory Care Board conference this year in Columbus.
Come on, man.
You know.
Let me not stop you. It's so much I know about you, man. You got to keep on going. But the one thing you need to do, man, this is the funniest dude that I know, bro.
Oh, I love you.
I always say, man, he should really be a real comedian, man. He's the funniest dude that I know. So for you not to be a speaker, you just authentically JB, man. You're funny, man. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I got it honest from my mom and dad,
man. Go ahead.
So this past spring or summer?
Yes.
I told you I also reside in Dallas.
Yes.
I took my once it happened with DeMar Hamlin. What was the message that could have vibrated out to the people? Look, man, this show is about picking up the pieces. Mm-hmm. What is it that we can do as black and brown people? Not gonna sound on you. As black and brown people to build up home and community, right? So, what's the message that we can take, the positive message, the proactive message, that we can take from what took place with DeMar on that field, man? Because as you said several times over, he had a mother, father, possible children,
a younger
sisters,
brother,
so on and so forth. If he goes down, if he doesn't make it,
yes.
Let me back up.
Yes.
What if that happens at home? What if that happens at home? So I had to reevaluate that entire situation. Like, okay, young brother, what? 20 what?
24.
24. What?
Yes. Yes.
So you telling me this could possibly happen to one of my sons, my grandsons?
Yes.
My daughter, one of my homies?
Yes.
What is it that you can talk to the people that are watching the podcast? By the way, like, share, and subscribe. Sure. As I was saying, I took a look at that and said, "Oh, we're going for CPR classes."
Oh,
yes, sir.
What is it that we as a community can take from that to say, what can we do proactively to be ready like you, homie?
Yes.
Without going to school.
Yes.
Without C-State.
Yes.
What can we do? The teaspoon.
Yes.
Not a cupful, because our people, we drink cupfuls, we'll throw up.
Yes.
We'll regurgitate the information. So on the teaspoon level, what is it that we can do if this happens at home with one of our family members and we say, "Oh my God, call the ambulance, call the police, call the fire truck."
Yes. I know exactly what you're
10,
saying.
15, 20 men to get
there.
And you got this. You got this in between time.
I'm sorry.
And I know exactly what you're saying.
Word.
And where you going.
Word.
And it's amazing because of this situation. I already have a lot of relationships throughout the hospital with a lot of the housekeepers, a lot of the transporters, because I am still them. So for them to see me in this role, they come and they inquire about how to become a respiratory therapist, how to take CPR classes. There's a housekeeper named TD. They call him TD. He came and he's like, "I need to sign up for CPR classes." I got on the computer and I directed him to the CPR classes. He came back a week later and he showed me a certificate. Those compressions alone, just having the knowledge, the understanding, compressions can save lives rather than doing no compressions at all. That's CPR. Not let alone the defibrillators, the AEDs, the automatic electrical defibrillators that he is passing out. He's actually giving these away through his foundation. And pretty soon, hopefully, it's in all sporting events, from high school games to NFL to NBA games. He's giving awareness. He spoke at the White House. The House of Representatives passed a law, an AED Act, for defibrillation to distribute at all of these. So these are big boundaries and awareness that people are coming across. Just the awareness of it all.
Yes, sir.
You know, and before that we had no knowledge of it. We knew about it, certain people, but now it's out to the masses. CPR classes are very important. Yes, like I said, compressions. You may not have a resuscitation.
Can you just give like a quick thing, man? Like, okay, I was goofy, man. I was gonna fall out, but I'm like, I ain't gonna manifest that shit on my life. But
demonstration.
Yeah, demonstration.
That's what I wanted to ask you.
Yes.
What is the quantitative number? Because for real, it's really easy.
Yes.
We just don't know the numbers.
Yes.
Because people see it on TV all the time. You know, since we're busy with TV being our damn lives, which is awfully crazy, because our parents as well as our grandparents called the TV the idiot box.
Yes.
But it is our lives now. It is our instructional. We watch this joint for instructions, whether or not it's a tutorial on your cell phone, whatever the case may be. I think it's 20 and 3.
Yes.
Is it?
I think it's
sure.
30 and I think it's 30 breaths. I think it's 30 pumps.
30 pumps.
Yes.
On the chest.
60 a minute. At least 60 minutes. It's like mimicking breathing.
Guess what? If we don't have the quantitative information down packed right, if this is not the actual pragmatic information, man, Google it.
But you know what, I'll simplify it. We just go by just say a song like the Bee Gees, ha, 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 staying alive, staying alive, the staying alive song. If you can just, pulsate to that beat, and just have a recoil, because you always want it to bounce, but some people do it too hard. They'll do it too hard, and it's like,
you can't do it too soft.
You can't do it too soft. Exactly. I think it's like 2 inches. You want to do a 2-inch depress and let it recoil.
Lift that chin up before breathing.
Yes. The head tilt 10 thrust. So you want to make sure that their airway is open. They got a patent airway so that nothing is blocking. It's just all of that. Like I say, CPR classes. They have a CPR class in Norwood, I want to say, where you can get certified. You know.
Where is it at for free? My people,
Yes.
we don't have the money to pay for CPR classes.
Yes.
Simple as that.
Yeah, they have
But where can we go where it's actually taught for free and our children can come?
Yes, I don't know specifically for free, but they actually have a lot of healthcare conferences now, like through UC exhibitions and all.
Just to show the
and
instructions.
it's like just to show instructions. You know, you don't have to have a certificate to know how to do it.
I'm gonna say they're gonna. I don't know if you want them, but they probably gonna come to JB. You know what I mean?
Listen, sky's the limit,
Yes,
man.
sir. Yes,
like
sir.
God, you know, Jesus got the wheel. I'm just along for the ride, man. You know, He put me in this situation for a reason. So it's like now, you know, now I'm just have to figure it all out. You know, but I'm taking advantage of all these opportunities for people to hear me.
For sure.
Hear my story because it happened. That's where I found out. I watched a video of this homeless guy, and he was speaking on the journeys of life that people fail to realize. Like that's what it's all about. You know, it wasn't just that I was a part of the first responders of this young man. It was how did I get there? You know, I came in thinking, okay, I just want to get my foot in the door, but God already had that destined. I just had to walk it down. That is it. That's it. It was my purpose, you know. And along the way, I met a lot of people. I gained a lot of relationships. Even in those other positions, they came back later on. Like I said, he said, I've been knowing you for years, this and that. He knew me when I was a housekeeper. He knew me when I was a transporter. So it's the relationships that I had prior. You don't meet people by accident. That's what I always tell people.
Yes, sir.
You don't meet people by happenstance. Everybody, you have to utilize everybody you meet. And that's something that I still do to this day. Whether you're a physician or you're a housekeeper, I had to meet you because I may need you somewhere down the line or you might need me.
Facts. Facts.
Like that's how I look at it. Facts. But, I just try to teach people and show them throughout, my walk, through my journey. Even when I was in school, man, I could tell it was like God was just working in different ways. Like I always tell a story about I had a math class, Torrin, and I was like, I was sitting there. I never used the restroom, right? And I knew this young lady had a calculator that I needed, like the semester before. And I'm like, man, I need this calculator. Like the teacher said, we're gonna need it. But I didn't want to buy it. It's like $100 calculator. And at the time, I ain't got, no money. Like I'm in school, I had to buy books, pay for fees. So I'm like, this young lady had this calculator, but I'm like, I wonder if she's still in class or she's still here. Like I didn't have her phone number or nothing like that. And I'm in class and I'm dancing. And I'm like, I got to use the bathroom. I never get up and go use the restroom because I'm afraid I might miss something. But that particular day, I got up and I went out to go to the restroom, and I saw her as soon as I went outside in the hall.
Oh,
and I'm like, Carrie, you got the calculator from like? She said, yeah. She said, it's at home on my dresser. She said, when is your next class? I'm like, Thursday. She said, me too. I bring it then.
Right.
I said, that wasn't nothing but God, man.
Yes, sir. You got to take advantage of the opportunity.
Opportunity.
Some people might have just sat there and pissed on themselves.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I never get up to go to the bathroom. But
Yes,
that
sir.
day, he made me get up.
Yes, sir.
And go in that hallway.
Yes, sir.
And I saw the young lady who was on my mind, who I said, she got a calculator that I need. Little instances like that. I can go on and on. Like, I was know it was just him.
And then over what? We've been out of school like 28 years.
Man, about 30.
Over 30 years.
30, then what? 24?
You had to damn near pee again.
Yeah.
And he said, get your ass off that sideline and go over there and help that boy.
And
you've always stood up for the cause.
That's it. It's bigger than me.
I salute you, my brother.
That's what this show is about.
For always being JB.
The show is about saving lives / the more handling.
Yes, sir.
Saving lives / the more handling.
Oh, man.
Featuring
good kid.
JB.
JB.
Hey, man.
Word up.
Sure, man.
Oh, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
This
man.
is what we do here. We bring on heroes. We actually bring on heroes.
That's powerful.
Maybe that's what we should have called the show.
Yes.
We bring on heroes, individuals that are going to bring in their testimony. What is a testimony if there's no one there to learn from it? Is it a testimony or is it just a story? That's the difference between testimonies and stories. Testimonies give you information to be preventive of what actually possibly took place negatively. But at the same time, they're positive testimonies.
Yes.
Whatever the case may be.
Yes.
We're trying to spark the proverbial light bulb in your head with this information coming from old heads. And all the time, it ain't even old heads. We ain't even got to the young crew yet. Y'all just wild and y'all crazy as hell. I know y'all wild and crazy as hell because I'm cut from it and I'm birthed from it. I was groomed in violence and born in pain. So we're going to bring the youngsters on, but up until that point in time, look who we're bringing on. We're bringing on Cape Crusaders. We're building our own, what is it called, from the Super Friends?
Justice League.
Yes, sir.
But it's not called the Justice League, it's the Empowerment League.
Yes, sir.
We're trying to empower you with this talk, with this podcast. We're not gonna come. I was hollering at them earlier, man. We ain't finna talk about who was shot in the hallway or who got knocked last night. Man, we ain't finna fuck with that. Y'all go ahead and do that. You know, the views are not where they need to be because we're talking about real life pragmatic situations.
And guess what? If you let me say this real quick. If you want to be in the hallways, we got somebody to teach you how to save a motherfucker life. CPR, you get what I'm saying? Come on, man.
Information.
Yes, sir.
You know, information is key, and most importantly, experience needs to be shared.
Yes, sure.
This is a show that comes on to hear about our experiences. You hear about our wisdoms. You hear about our failures. You hear about our triumphs. But most importantly, triumph is easy. Because after you win, you can talk all the shit you want. When I win, I be talking mad shit. Everybody don't do what I do. But when you lose, people don't like to talk about their losses, but I talk about them too. Shout out to Meek Mill, wins and losses. You with me? So this has been, one more time, this has been an episode about saving lives. And we have one of God's soldiers on the battlefield. His purpose is to save lives. He saves lives his way. I save lives my way. The main man saves lives his way because he's starting off with y'all baby. So on the stage right now, you see three different forms of how we going to build up our homes and our communities just really by saving lives.
Shout out to Little Dreamers Child Care, 3410 Warsaw Avenue, the biggest child care in the city.
Word.
Come on through.
Word.
513-244-4600.
One more time, JB, tell them who you. I'm sorry. Tell them where they can find you. Do you have a
I don't have a Facebook, but I have an Instagram.
Boom, that's what they do.
Yes.
We old as hell. we the only ones that do
Yes.
Facebook for real.
Yes.
So you do. And you have an Instagram page.
And I believe it's Burning. It's Burning Bush. B is like BURNIN _ Bush 513. I want to say Burning Bush 513. That's my Instagram. Yeah.
Shout out to JB. One more time. This is a brother that had a part and participated with bringing the young brother from the Buffalo Bills back from the depths or back from God. Now, we know he assisted, but the ultimate doctor was God. But this brother right here helped this brother from the Buffalo Bills, Damar Hamlin, make it back to see us again where we can actually share in the triumph of his life. Picking Up the Pieces is a podcast about what is it that we can do to build up home as well as community. My name is Torrance Jones.
Antoine Hill.
Our guest, JB.
John Bush.
We need for you guys to like, share, as well as subscribe.
For sure.
We love y'all.